Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Today we're going to talk about Surah As-Sajda, the summary of Surah As-Sajda. What are the key contents that are covered in Surah As-Sajda? This is based on my notes that I've taken after reading and listening to Surah Sajda and the translation. So there are five key themes that have been discussed. First, it is about the creation. The second one is about the retribution and warning. Third theme is about Hidayah and guidance. Fourth is about the signs of Momin, the true believers, and the signs of the leaders. And then number five is the time of the victory. And this is very important because people have been asking about this topic many times from the prophets. So when we talk about the time from the point of creation, Allah mentions that Allah in Surah Sajda, Allah mentions several points about creation. One is Allah created earth in 6 days, and then Allah mentions the creation of humans, that a human was first created by sand, then with water, that is sperm, and then ruh was inserted into the humans, and then it transformed humans into one body with eyes and ears. And then Allah mentions that all of this we did, but still we do not thank Allah. Then the second point is about retribution and warning. So the first ayah talks about the goal of the Prophet, that is to warn about the future. Then there is another ayah which talks about accept him, no one to look towards. So we need to be very careful about our actions. And then Allah mentions about Day of Judgment, that that day when everyone will be gathered, it will be worth more than 1,000 years, will be equal to one day. And again, this is a simile. It doesn't have to be 1,000 Earth years. It's just 1,000 years, which says it's pretty big, pretty long. And then it also mentions once they die, the people, they will say that, please return us. We have seen and we will fix ourselves. Now, then there is the another ayah that talks about another warning sign, that before the big punishment, we will send small punishments. This is important to realize because it's Allah does give small punishments for us to reflect. Then, number three, regarding Hidayah, Allah mentions that if we would have wanted, we would have gathered all of the people on one religion, but we will full hell, yani Jahannam, with all the misguided. And this goes along very nicely with the hadith of Miraj that we had discussed in a prior discussion. Then Allah mentions that the biggest transgressor is one who is informed about the ayah and signs of Allah, but they ignore the ayah and the signs of Allah. And another key sign for those who want to accept is that Allah says, we destroyed many nations before them. So all of these are signs of Hidayah, like people who want to get guidance. These are all the mentions of that. And number four is about signs of Momin. So Allah mentions in Surah Sajda several signs of Momin. First is everyone, so every ayah is recited. Whenever there is an ayah that is recited, they fall in sajda. They pray to Him and are not arrogant. They stay away from bed and sleep and keep calling their Lord out of fear and hope of blessings. Spend in the way of Allah out of what they have been given by Allah. And then Allah mentions the signs of the leaders as those who preach guidance with patience and believed in the ayah and signs of Allah. So these are the signs of the leaders, the Imams, especially when Allah mentions the Imams or the leaders from after Prophet Musa alayhi salam. Now, the last point I would like to mention is number five, that is time of victory. This is very important because people and be, people ask, Allah mentions, when will the day of victory come if you are true? And then Allah says, that day, those who ignored before won't be accept, uh, they won't be able to accept the faith, and they have to endure what they were doing before. Now, this is a very, very important point that, and it goes with the arrival of the 12th Imam. Those who do not believe in the 12th Imam or do not believe in the victory from Allah right now, it will be very difficult for them to come back to that point. It is Allah's promise. Therefore, again, to recap the five things that were mentioned in Surah As-Sajda: one is about the creation, second is about the retribution and warning of Allah, third is about the guidance and Hidayah, fourth is about signs of Momin and leaders, and fifth is about time of victory. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.